my God. Welcome everyone to a brand new show. Now, typically we do Sunday nights. Today we decided to do Monday because I saw Ballerina last night. So that's the reason why we switched to a Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. With that said, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right. So for those of you out there, you guys are going to be sprinkling in and everything. Tonight we got a lot of stuff to talk about, okay? We're going to have to talk a little bit about some 007 stuff in the beginning, and then we're going to go right into some 4 major movie releases. We're going to talk about I got to see in the theaters. We never gave our movie review, so that's why we're doing it on the live show. Me and Nate going to give our we're going to talk about it, give our ratings and all that jazz. But with that said, before we do, let's do some promotionals quick so we can get it out the way so we can get right into the show. So first off, Patreons, thank you so much for supporting the channel. You guys, you know who you are. And then if you guys are coming in, thank you so much. And you guys are checking out the replay, thank you so much. So with some promos here, the Action Movie Guys podcast is up to episode 445. We're up to RoboCop 2. I'll be dropping Constantine tomorrow. This week, we got a lot of videos this week. So in terms of live streaming, I'll be Wednesday night. Well, me and Nate going to be Wednesday night. Nate is going to be a judge. I'll be participating on the 007 versus Mission Impossible live stream over on Mega Mike's channel. That's starting at 6:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Over here is 9:15 Eastern Time for us. So yes, we're gonna be going at each other. Technically, I mean, I could spank them all, but with that said, it's gonna be a 3-on-3 team. Hux, I don't know the guy, but I know that you know him, Hux. He's gonna be a judge with you.
Yep. Me, Huck, and
some fish guy.
Fish the film collector.
Yes, I don't know those guys, so if I said it wrong, sorry. But yes, they're going to be the judges. I have 2 other teammates for 007, and then I'm going to be going up against MI6. So we got that going. And now, in terms of the good stuff in the channel, in terms of what are we dropping? Well, Sean Connery collection drops tomorrow. And you already know, I don't go normal, baby. I go top tier when it comes to 007, John Wick, Ghostbusters, or Evil Dead. So with that said, I got my hands on the steelbooks of the Sean Connery. Now, those are really hard to get now. I found out throughout the whole internet, people were like, how the hell did you get these? I found out they're limited, like super limited, which I'm excited for because that means I got my hands on a limited edition set. So yes, I got my hands on the 5-film Sean Connery movie set steelbook. I'm going to be doing a unboxing of the Sean Connery steelbook. That is going to be separate. Then we're going to be going in hardcore on the Should You Upgrade Dr. No all the way up to his final movie. But I'm not jam-packing them. They're all going to be separate Should You Upgrades on 007. On Wednesday, I'll be getting Swordfish from Arrow Video, which I will be doing also a review on Should You Upgrade Swordfish, which is, we're laughing, and that's why Nate is grinning because we did it on the Action Movie Guys podcast. So the videos for this week is going to be the unboxing of the steelbooks of the Sean Connery collection, Dr. No. We're going to start it off in 1962, Dr. No, and then Arrow's Swordfish, and then throughout the week, I guess for 5 weeks, you're gonna be 007 galore because I'm just gonna release one of each of the steelbooks. Now, the cool thing I want to say is, starting this week, you're gonna get extra videos, and it's gonna be me playing. And I always wanted to do on the channel, and I did it on a separate, but I want to just throw it here. I love playing movie-based video games. That's one of my pet peeves. I don't know why. So I'm gonna be starting the 007. I already started Tomorrow Never Dies on this channel. I just never continued on to the next iteration of the PlayStation game. So the next one is The World Is Not Enough. I'm going to be playing it for the first time, and then it's going to be pre-recorded. 2 boards each video. I'm going to be on me playing, and on we go. So with that said, you're guys going to get a lot of 007 videos. Once that's done, I'll put a poll up what video game movie you want me to do. Most likely everyone's going to vote on Indiana Jones's new game because that's the newest one. But we'll go on from there. But yes, tons of content coming out this week. We're on the live stream. We'll have fun there. But Nate, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Should You Upgrades. They're doing a great job on those videos. I feel like a lot of people are liking it with the comparison you know, little side by side and stuff. So good job on those. Yeah, we reviewed those movies. They were all first time watch for me. I remember liking some and not liking.
Oh, you did
I
not
didn't
like
buy
it.
it. I didn't
Yeah.
buy that set. So I was like, I'm good. But I'm looking forward to seeing the unboxing of it, honestly, because I didn't even look at pictures or anything. I
Yeah.
just because I wasn't gonna buy it. And then yeah, I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. I'm a judge. I love being a judge. I've played in so many games over there. Won some, lost some, but being a judge is so stress free. You just show up,
Yeah.
you say, "Wow, that's cooler than that. I vote for that." And so I'm looking forward to that. And then as far as the podcast, I'm working on something for the podcast. You know me, I love me some numbers. So I'm doing some number crunching on the Action Movie Guys podcast. Now the problem is that we have 450 million episodes and I have to go through every single one. So I'm only on like I'm maybe like in the 30s right now, but while I'm working, I go through them. I'm not even told Alex what it is. I'm not
No.
gonna. Once I finish my research, then I will just present it to everyone at the same time. It's not like some crazy thing, but I just want to see something. But in order
Mm.
for me to see that, I got to go through every episode. So it's been kind of fun, dude. Listening to the real old ones is why. First of all, I sound like I'm recording it from jail. I sound like I sound like it sounds like you called me on one of those prison
Yeah.
phones and I recorded my thoughts through a prison phone. Also like hearing the different intros is funny. The format, like I feel like we got it down to such a and it happened a while ago, but I feel like we have it down to such a, like it's like automatic. Well,
Yeah.
back then there's times where it's like, is it my turn? Is your turn? Is my turn? Is your turn? So like it's hilarious. You'd be like, all right, action scenes. Okay, wait, it's my turn. So like it's really
Yeah.
been like fun to go back and listen to them. So yeah, when I'm done, whenever that is,
Yeah.
hopefully sooner than later, I will present my findings. Well, I'll do it on a live show because
Yeah.
there's no way for me to do it on the pod. There's no point for me to do it on the podcast. I'll do it on a live show, but
All right.
yeah, it's
Well,
gonna be good. And we got a couple people here. Tony's here.
Tony.
What's up, Tony? Collector Movie Man is here. What's up?
Nice.
Tony says it's weird that I'm the only. So far, you're just the first one in the chat. People are gonna. We're not on our normal day, so I feel like once people get.
Oh
little
yeah.
older,
We'll
then
just
they'll start trickling in.
Oh yeah, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get right into it with the 007 stuff, right? I'll play the trailer. I don't think we'll be okay because we're not playing the audio. All right, so IO Interactive is the software developer for this movie, and rightfully so. I don't think there will be another company that could take the property of 007. Hitman is such a big game in the gaming world that they needed to get.
Hitman.
Yeah, they're the ones who created Hitman.
Okay.
So this was like that was them, bro. It was them. I think those are the people that you wanted to touch a 007 game. Now, Amazon gave them free reign on everything. From music, corporations branding is in this. From Omega watches, which he wears.
I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah, you got Coca-Cola. You got, everything that you know in the 007 movie, they granted to them. So they got their hands on it. Now, Nate, before I give the whole did you see it, did you like it thing, I'm going to give you some background on this. 007 is 26 years old. You get to play a 26-year-old 007. He doesn't get his 00 status yet. You're earning it. That's why in the trailer, if you noticed, they were like, we got to put him through the training. So think of this like a Casino Royale with Daniel Craig.
That's the vibes I got.
Yeah, that's what you're getting. But this time you're getting a super young 007. We got Q, we got Money Penny. You got to see it here in the trailer. Now, the design, a lot of people are bitching, saying that he looked like Tom Cruise, a young Tom Cruise. I'm like, it is what it is, people. Yeah, pretty much. But there is absolutely no multiplayer. This is straight up single player espionage, action, and stealth, meaning that you could go into these boards doing a stealth with gadgets, or you could go guns blazing, or you could do it the 007 style. You could do hammering it up with both, but it gives you the option. It's not like Hitman where you have to be street stealth. So this is straight up a 007 game. From there. Now, let me see. It says test your skills and replay your favorite missions with additional modifiers for endless espionage fun. That's one thing from their website. It says go silent or go loud, whether fighting with fist or firepower, using gadgets to infinite or bluffing your way past guards, meaning you could use your charm, talking your way through stuff. The approach is entirely up to you. Dope. Embark on missions in breathtaking locations, driving iconic vehicles, maybe a DB5, DB10 maybe, and drive into a cinematic adventure in pursuit of a rogue agent who's always one step ahead. All right. And then, of course, discover a new standalone reimagined James Bond origin story and the events that led a young hero to become the best MI6 agent. So, Nate, I say to you,
Yes.
first, what was your initial reaction when you saw the trailer?
Okay. So I watched this trailer. You watched me watch it. I watched it
Yeah.
literally right before we got on.
Okay.
Okay, I did not know. Oh, so I'm not a huge gamer.
Yeah.
I used to play more when I was younger, and not anymore. I did not know that this is the same studio who did Hitman. I am familiar with the Hitman games. Like, I remember all the way back to like the original one, which was a lot of fun. So that's knowing that a good studio who's made good games is working on it. That's a plus. I wish they showed a little more gameplay. I'm a more of a gameplay footage guy. This was like a cinematic trailer with little spurts of gameplay in it. So like it'll be driving and it'll be cinematic, and then all of a sudden it'll show you probably like how it looks when you're driving. Or they have that part where you're shooting stuff and it looks like it's more like how it would be on gameplay.
Yeah.
But I wish there was like a little more gameplay. But that being said, I think for Bond fans, this seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I like Bond. The only Bond game I ever played really was GoldenEye. So, and that was a multiplayer game. So this one, I like the approach. It looks good. I think the graphics look good. The story seems interesting. If I was a solo gamer, I think it would be something I would play. But I don't play many solo games. So for me, I'll probably never play this game, but that doesn't mean it doesn't look good to me. Like it does look actually really good. Like some of these parts, like the action and stuff, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. But I do think for Bond fans, I think this is going to be a great experience.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this is the game that everybody wanted. I think in terms of a Bond game, right? I didn't play the Indiana Jones game. I heard a lot of people were in and out on that. Like you didn't feel it felt like a little bit like Indiana Jones, but it felt like two different games mashed together. This one looks like you're 007. Like they literally giving you gadgets. They're giving you his cars. I mean, I look at the scene here of him driving the Aston Martin, like right through the.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. So, and that looks like gameplay footage.
That
right
looks
there.
like gameplay footage. Yeah, there's another part I think like.
Yeah, look at that. That's very Bond iconic in the dark, and he's fighting. So, like for me, I'm definitely getting all the versions of it, like hands down. Like if there's a collector's version of it, I'm very excited for it because I've been dying for a double. I think everyone's been wanting a new 007 game, and I remember a lot of people were like, "It's not about the movies," but I remember a lot of people going, "Damn, we got these new systems. When is a new Bond game coming?" It's been a long time. The last one was Bloodstone. I believe it was Bloodstone. With Daniel Craig on the PS4. That was like,
in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So I think this is right. I think I like it. One is an origin. It's not something that is a rehash of a movie that we already saw. Just straight up. So I'm looking forward to this. I already signed up too to get the new,
the Golden Gun.
Golden Gun and the suit.
So Tony Movie Chappie says, not my cup of tea to begin with. Not the biggest James Bond fan, like the movies, but not in love with them. So this game isn't for me. What I will say is, I do think if you like action games,
this is
it looks good.
Yeah,
and why not? I don't think you have to like Bond to get into this type of game because, like you said, like if it's a Hitman game, that's an original game. This could have been an original game and been good. Adding the Bond property makes it a little more interesting, but I don't think if you're a Bond fan that you can't play it, but I think Bond fans will love it If it's good,
Yeah.
if the game comes out good.
Well, you got to think about also too, Nate. It doesn't. You don't like you said it about. You don't have to be a Bond fan. That's why he's starting at age 26. So you're pretty much for everybody could play him. It's not like you need to know what happens in Her Majesty's Secret. Which if you listen to, I couldn't play the audio, but there's a part in the game that they play the theme song to Her Majesty's Secret Service in one of the car scenes, and I was like, oh, that's dope. But they just threw it there to throw it there because they said they're gonna play a lot of the movie scores throughout your playing. Yes. So anyway, my thing is I'm happy for this because I hope it opens the door for a Mission Impossible from the company because we never had a Mission Impossible video game. So if this does very well, we might have an Ethan Hunt. Maybe Tom Cruise might lend his voice to play Ethan Hunt. That would be very unique. And that one would be really fun if I was a developer because you could make it a team base like how the movies are. Like a play up to 3 people on the team to do a campaign. That would be pretty fun. But I'm just saying for right now, I'm really super excited for this. I mean, you know how I am on Bond. So I'm looking forward to this.
Only?
This is PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, and Switch. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Collector Movie Man says, I definitely will play this when I get a PS5, but he's not sure on a Mission Impossible game. Tony says, question, what are your thoughts on the bidding war? Tony, we're not talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, way off topic.
We'll talk about that in the future.
We'll talk about it, though. Don't delete it or anything. We'll come back
don't delete it.
For now,
yeah,
I don't know. I got to think about it. But yeah, I think the game looks good.
Yeah, so it's PS5, Xbox, Steam, meaning PC gamers, Nintendo 2. I don't know what Amazon means, but I think that's the company, and Epic Games. So those are the.
Yeah, they're in charge of the games.
Okay. Well, yeah. So there you have it. But it is coming out for all systems, so it's not an exclusive, which I'm happy about. So again, I'm super excited for this. But with that said, let's have some fun. Let's get into the movie stuff, all right? Because I know a lot of people are here for movies. Movies. Harrison's here. All right. Let's go with some movies. All right, let's start it off with the first one, which let me just bring up some stuff. Sorry about that, people. The first one on the list we're going to have is Final Destination Bloodlines. We're going to talk about the movie. Me and Nate got to see it, and we're going to talk about it. Box office-wise, you ready for this, Nate?
Final Destination Bloodlines. Okay, yeah, box office.
All right, so here we go. Budget-wise, $50 million to make. All right, $50 million. I have the box office numbers here. Let me just pull that up for everyone to see at home, too. Box office numbers, here it is. This is for Final Destination Bloodlines. $50 million to make, worldwide 257 and in the moment. All right, so I don't want people to go all crazy. This is as we speak of today. $257 million. Nate, what do you think of Final Destination?
Fantastic. I mean, 5 times your budget, an R-rated horror film, the 6th in a franchise. This is Warner Brothers got to be doing they're doing backflips, the executives, because this was not an expensive movie, and it really has found an audience. I have seen a few people who didn't like it that much, but for the most part, I feel like the general consensus is people really enjoyed it. And for a movie like this, I mean, look at the international. That's pretty impressive. 133 million international. I mean, it's I think it's fantastic.
No, it's very fantastic. And I did the same thing you did. International was a hair higher than domestic, where domestic always beats in these horror movies for some reason. Yeah, so for some reason,
but you know what? You know what I think it is? Because the killer is death, and death is all over the earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna die whether you live in Russia or Japan or America. The kill. It's not an American slasher movie, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
You might be right, but let's talk about it. All right, here we go. Let's talk about some Final Destination here. All right, I'm sorry about the graphics here. I forgot to put the black bar, but anyway, let's talk about it because I got to see it.
First, let's talk about because you are not the horror lover.
No, I'm not a horror.
I like horror, the genre, more than you.
Yes.
But what is your thoughts on this franchise? Like, did you like the other? I know the answer, but for everyone else, did you like the other ones? Did you see them all? Are you a fan, or was this like not really.
I will say this. So the first movie I enjoyed because it reminded me of an X-Files episode, which I talked about. I talked to you about, which people found out that it was supposed to be a Mulder and Scully episode, and it was created by the writers of X-Files, and Chris Carter, I think, is the creator of X-Files, said no. He was like, why don't you guys build a movie off of this? Because it would not make sense if Mulder or whoever saves by death. That means the entire season is gonna be rode around on death chasing them, which would have been weird. So for them, they said, no, let's put this in the thing. But I thought it was a pretty cool concept if Mulder and Scully, it would have worked in that franchise. But anyway, with that said, I thought it was cool. Reminded me of that. I liked it. And that's where it stopped for me because I'd never seen the others.
You've seen 1 and 6.
I only seen the first one, and then I seen this one. My wife is a big, she's a way bigger horror fan, so she saw all of them. So for me, I enjoyed it. In terms of, it's the same with Saw, right? I started to like Saw once I watched them, when I did the rewatch. I didn't do it on this one with this movie. Okay. But I remember liking the first one a lot, and it made me paranoid because that freaked a lot of people out, that storyline. But
yeah, because what are you gonna do? You can't run away from something you can't see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I have seen all of them. I have seen from 3 to 6 at the theater. I saw the first 2 back in like the DVD time. Because those are like early 2000s movies. I think 3 came out in like 2005 or 2006, something like that.
Yeah.
I am a fan of this franchise. I think it's very clever. You're right. I know the original writer wrote it as an X-Files episode and they passed, and then he ended up taking it to doing it to feature length. And I'm pretty sure the director of the first and the third worked on X-Files.
Yeah, he was I think a writer or director for the seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I think his name is James Wong, not Wong. Wong.
Yeah. He was a writer. Yes.
And he directed 1 and 3. And this guy, David Ellis, directed 2 and 4. And then 5 and 6 have had different directors. Yeah. But anyway, I agree. It feels very, if not X-Files, just very some sort of supernatural show. Yeah. It could work. But I think it's a very clever premise. I don't love all the movies. Like, I think 4 is absolutely horrible. Honestly, the rest of them I think they're range from like fun to good. So yeah, I enjoy this this franchise as a whole.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, so what did you think of Bloodlines?
I liked it. Okay. It was good. I mean, look, I think this one, it did a couple of things different than the other ones, because this is a franchise that's like, it's not the same exact movie every time, but it's almost the same exact movie every time, right? Group of people, one of them has a premonition about an accident. They freak out, they save a couple people, and one by one, death kills them in like accidents, crazy accidents where like a bottle of juice will fall over and then a dog will lick it and then slip and fall. And then like it's the same thing over and over. The whether they're good or not usually depends on if the characters are fun and if the kills are good, right? So in this one, I do like, they did 2 things that I liked. One, I think they leaned in to the comedy. None of the other ones are funny. Like, none of them are really funny.
Semi-serious.
Yes, there'll be like 1 or 2 jokes like in them. But I think they were smart to say, this premise is kind of ridiculous. Why don't we have a little fun? I mean, horror can be serious, it can be scary, or it can be fun. I like that. I think this one is the funniest of them. I don't think it's like the funniest movie ever, but it is humorous, and I liked that. And the other thing is, and this comes to the title, is I like that it focused on a family of people rather than just a bunch of random strangers that don't know each other and they have to like work together. I kind of like that it's like, no, they know each other and they're trying to figure the whole thing out. So anything you could do 6 movies in where you're changing the formula a little bit, I think goes a long way. And this has some good kills, really good kills. Some are better than others, The big disaster, which every movie has, I thought was fun. It was different. Um, a little too CGI at times for me, but I feel like the fifth one was also very,
Yeah.
very CGI. So I guess that's kind of the modern. They all have CGI in them, but those two, like especially. But other than that, I thought it was fun. I had a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I will say this. In terms of the movie, I had a good time watching it. I wasn't a fan of this movie. I was just like, oh, this is freaking stupid. My wife liked it. She thought it was good. I was just like, I literally, when the movie ended, I literally said that. I was like, this thing is stupid. Like, I literally said it loud. And you had some chuckles, and then some people were like, ugh, and I was like, oh, whatever. I was just like, you'll get a hug. But I will say this. CGI wise, it doesn't bother me because we're in the world that they do it anyway. So I'm like, I'm not asking. I know you're very big on the CGI. Doesn't kills me on it. Only in my action movies I get tight, but
It
in horror
depends how it
movies, I'm like,
looks.
yeah. And that one didn't look as bad. The ending sequence with it wasn't as
No,
bad.
just the beginning. The
Yes.
beginning, it doesn't look bad, but there's
Yeah.
times where it's like, okay, this is too
Yeah.
much.
In the skyline, right? The thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Too much.
other than that, you know what my biggest problem with this movie is?
Mm.
Is the old lady couldn't leave the house.
Okay, the grandma.
The grandmother couldn't leave. The one that Death is trying
Yep.
to kill so it just ends, right?
Yep.
Couldn't leave.
Yep.
And I know it's a movie. I know it's trust me, I know it's a movie. My thing is, she's the one who killed her bloodline. If you
You're
really,
saying
if
she
you
cursed them.
no, if you really think about it, if she dies, then Death starts to knock on everyone that's on her bloodline, right? He starts to go after them and kills them. Correct, right?
Yeah.
But if she never left the house to get killed, then the movie would have never continued the bloodline. She was stopping from killing her whole family, but everyone was treating her like crap because they were like, "Oh, you're crazy." And I
Yeah,
think
but
she just wanted
there
the
was a
burden
reason why she
done.
went outside.
Well, no, she did because she knew she was gonna die. But my
Yeah.
thing is that she kind of did it to her time. Like she did it to herself. Like at the end of the day, she destroyed her timeline. The bloodline. I'm sorry. But I know it's a movie. That's what I'm saying. I know it's a movie, but
Well,
because you had to
but
move it. But
to be
I guess.
fair, she did in the movie. She was explaining how they could possibly stop it. So you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but and I don't think you're not wrong, but at the same time, she was explaining to her. She gave her all the information. Hey, look, you got to find a way to stop it. Like, look, Scott says, WTF, death is after not really. It's not like just really after an old lady, but bro, wait a little bit. That's all you have to do. So he said, just die of natural causes because you're old. That's not entirely true. This is out of context, but my point is, I see what you're saying. It didn't bother me that much because
Yeah.
I feel like she was trying to save them anyway. But if she would have stayed in, it was gonna, by letting the girl in, it kind of ruined her. The girl, really,
She screwed up.
the main character screwed up by going
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No, she did. She did. She
Yeah.
opened the door. It went. Anyway, I don't
What
want to
they're
ruin
doing.
it as much to people, but I just want to say is like that part of the movie was not. I was just like,
Bug you.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I think everything else was fun. I thought it was fun. Like you said, it was fun, campy, horror movie. We knew what it was. I will say this: the best part for me on this movie was Tony Todd's cameo. Because the last sentence that he said gave me spine chills because you could tell he was like giving his swan song to the crowd.
He
Like
improvised it.
Yeah, he
It was
pretty
all
much
it
talked
was
to.
not written. The
Yeah.
director said, just say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Give the message you want to give. And I think he nailed it. It was sad to see him like
Yeah, it
that.
was thin.
He was
Yeah.
thin and frail, but I do think that's a good way to do a send off if you're going to
Yeah.
honor an actor and a character in a movie.
No, you're absolutely right. And the way he did it, like he literally looked at the camera and he's like literally looking at you, giving you this heartfelt goodbye of this
Yeah.
character and himself because he knows he's dying. He's just
Yeah.
in real life. So I thought it gave me goosebumps, and I still got goosebumps right now, guy. But I thought it was a dope way. And I love how he was just like, I'm out. He's like, "I do what you got to do." He's like, I saved too many people. But other than that, look, what is your rating for this
This
movie?
movie, yeah, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I
Mm,
think it was good. Yeah, I think it's good. I'd probably rank it in the upper, there's only 6 movies in the franchise, but
yeah.
I'd say it's in the upper third. Like, it's one of the top 3. Honestly, I thought it was way better than 4. Um, I think it's better overall than 3. 3 I have a lot of nostalgia for, but I think this is a better movie. And I'd probably maybe put it third. But yeah, 7.5 for me.
I would say for me, this is like the second best movie in the franchise because I never saw the others.
You would like 2. You would like 2, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
Especially if you liked 1. Yeah, you would.
Okay.
2
Yeah.
is like a
So.
fan favorite. Everyone loves part 2.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like, but no, it's all serious. I thought this was a fun horror movie. It was fun. Like I say, I was enjoyed. I give it a 7. I would give it a 7. A 7 out of 10. I think to me is
That's good.
is is
Three and a
is
half out
good.
of 5.
Yeah, it's that's how I would go with this movie.
All
Let
right,
me
let's
know in
see
the
what we
comments
got in the
below
chat.
if you guys saw this movie. Put
Yeah,
what you think
so
about it.
Collector Movie Man says, "I want all the movies to come out on 4K, not just this new one." Well, maybe. It is
Oh
Warner
yeah,
Brothers. They do
yeah.
4Ks, so it could happen. Um, he said if we're going to Superman, yeah, we're gonna see Superman. I don't know. We're not going to an early screening or anything.
I'm
Scott's here.
going to Thursday. I don't know what
Right.
Thursday. If that's early screen, no, I'm not going to that
Yeah, he goes delay.
Amazon
Yeah.
free thingy that they do.
Scott is here. Scott says, "Bam, I am
What's up?
here, baby. A lady friend just left my place.
Oh
Sorry for the
Jesus.
delay." Here we go. He says, "I've never watched a Final Destination movie. That's crazy.
Hmm.
Just clips and obviously the famous log truck. The log truck clip is
It's
from part 2.
everybody's.
That's part 2. So
Oh,
that's why
okay. Yeah.
everyone knows that one." Tony says, "Not the biggest Final Destination fan. I like the franchise, okay at best. This was very good and might be my third favorite, alongside 3 and 2, which is my favorite. I
Oh.
think this one's better than 3, but I agree with him on 2. I think 1 and 2, and then this probably would be my ranking.
Mm.
I already read that. Tony says, and sorry, but of course, I knew he was going to say this. I like Final Destination 4. Of course he does, because it is the worst one.
Mm.
Superman 3, when it's the Superman 3 when it comes to horror. I have some memories that it was the first Final Destination. Okay, so he has nostalgia for it. Tony Todd always best when it comes to Final Destination. He gave this an 8.
Well,
Tony
that's not
gave
that
this one
bad.
an 8. Yeah,
Okay.
4 is terrible. It's the one
All right.
that's the only one that was in. It was, well, not it was the first one in 3D. So all the
Mm.
kills are like they throw stuff at the camera and
And you
stuff. Like
like,
it's, oh my
okay.
god, it's so dumb. It's horrible.
All right. Well, next on the list is the final, supposedly the final Mission Impossible movie. All right, called The
Ooh.
Final Reckoning. Right. So
Yes.
this movie, Nate, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I found out the budget for this sucker.
I'm
The
still
budget was $400 million. 400. You know it's $400 million. And that is just because this dude Tom Cruise wants to throw himself off planes and go into submarines, but it is what it is. $400 million. And now this is what the budget is. Worldwide, it made $450 million. So far, it made a profit of $50 million. It made the
my
money
God.
back, right? It
Not
made the
even though. It
money
hasn't
back.
even broke even.
This is my disturbing numbers, Nate. Are you seeing this? Domestic 149 million, international 301. That is horrible. And I don't care what anyone tells me. That is horrible numbers for a United States of America movie in a domestic. That is bad.
Okay. Now, I just want to say, because I double checked, because I was pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I remember this being the case.
Go ahead. Case me.
They filmed this one and the last one together.
Okay.
So it makes it hard on the budget aspect to know how much was it spread across both. Was it, you know what I mean? Because 450, was it 450?
400.
400. I mean, I've seen this movie, and we're going to talk about it in a second, and I've
Yeah.
seen other movies. This doesn't look like a movie that cost by itself $400 million. It really doesn't. It looks expensive. It looks like whatever they spent, they put it on the screen. But I don't know if it's shared the budget, because And
Most
if
likely
not,
they
if
did.
they spent okay,
So
most
so
likely they
two. So I looked it up here. 290 was part one. So
okay.
roughly 210 might be this one with a little bit more because it said the film's ultimate spent would approach 400 million when you include marketing costs.
So it was
So
together. Okay.
yeah, so it's
Well,
290 for part one, 210 to 220 part two. Then you add in some marketing, you got a
yeah.
$400 million film.
I will
There
say,
you go.
if that's the case, it's not as the box office not as bad as you
Yeah.
would think. Because look at it, you got to look at it as like, let's say even 250. Let's say
Hmm.
this costs 250 and it's made 450. That's not it's not a big hit at the end of the day. But it's
No, it's
also
not.
not like a soul crushing loss either. If they spent 400 on one. Either way, this is not good. And you know what? We talked about it 2 years ago. Whoever is in charge at Paramount of when they release Mission Impossible needs to be fired
Yeah.
because they put this up against Lilo and Stitch on the same weekend, which has made $700 million worldwide, by the way. You knew it was going to be a hit. All the buzz was crazy. That's a popular Disney movie. It doesn't matter if their live action movies have been not good. That movie was going to do good. And then like short, like it is always surround. They put these movies. The last one came out the week before Barbie and Oppenheimer. So it's almost like if you don't make it in your first weekend, you're screwed. And this one didn't even have the first weekend to itself. It shared it.
Yeah.
So I think it was a big. I think they fumbled the ball. Also, it's long, so you can't have as many screenings. When you have a movie that's 3 hours, you can only fit like 4 or 5 of those in a day, rather than if you have a 2 hour movie and you can get 8 or 9 or 10 screenings a day. So there's a lot of reasons why. But yeah, it's not great. It's not
I
great.
I agree with you. My biggest pet. Well, we'll talk about that soon, but I agree. The time wise, the length, the running time for this film was way too long, and they should have learned their lessons from the part one with the running time, because a lot of people came out of that theater saying the same bitching plot point of this movie is way too long. Like, why are we watching a 3 hour movie? But anyway, way too long. Too many set pieces. Way too many set pieces. And I know it's a Mission Impossible movie and you want Tom Cruise to do all the stunts. I get it. But when you show most of the stunts on TV, it takes away from the movie. I'm literally sitting there going, well, I just saw this on the trailer. What is new in this besides an extended version of stuff? So for me, I just felt like you're right. They were up against, and then Ballerina came out right after. A few weeks later, you got Ballerina. So this had nothing to try to even recuperate. And Nate, you could quote me on this. Mission Impossible could be the only franchise that never broke $1 billion for a film. Never.
As far as a franchise,
A movie.
well known and popular as
no,
it is,
in terms of a franchise, it passed $1 billion. So I don't want everyone to DM me or write thing going. Yeah, individual, like one Mission Impossible, like Rogue Nation never broke $1 billion. I don't think it did. Ghost Protocol never broke $1 billion.
No, none of it did.
Yeah, Dead Reckoning Part 1 never even touched it because it was COVID, so people didn't go see it. This one is definitely not going to break $1 billion. So that's my thing. It's like, yes, you got all these crazy stunts, but not many people support the movie at the end of the day. It's a weird thing.
It's crazy because this has got to be the only, to your point, not only did none of them break $1 billion, but it seems like even though they didn't, they kept increasing the budgets to astronomical amounts, which is a weird decision. Like, okay, if your last movie made 600 million, let's just say 600 million worldwide, make a budget where you can hit that without, it being like a big failure. But I don't know why. It is a weird franchise in that way. Like, the budgets kept going up, but the box office returns, even if they were good, they were never astronomical ever. None of them.
Right.
None of these movies were like the number one movie of the year that they came out. I don't think. I'm like 99.9% sure on that.
No, you're absolutely right. And then it's crazy because I don't want to do the whole comparison 007 Mission Impossible, which I'm going to be warming up for Wednesday. But I will say this. Skyfall is the first $1 billion 007 movie to reach out of a 26 movie franchise. Like, and before people go, oh, but it's 26. No, it's a franchise. So one of them should have, but Skyfall did. The next movie never did. Spectre never did. The No Time to Die never hit $1 billion. Skyfall hit $1 billion.
And it didn't have a $400 million
and it did not have a 400. It had like a 300 or 200, whatever.
But it was like probably less than 200, honestly.
Yeah, it could be. But my thing is, Mission Impossible never sniffed $1 billion in the box office. That's my only thing. But we could talk about why, because I have a theory on why this sucker didn't go that long.
Let's review the movie. And then we'll get to the people are. I love it. I'll read the chat after we go.
Okay.
Yeah, the budget for Skyfall was between 150 and 200, and it made 1.1 billion, almost 1.2 billion.
And what's the next movie do? Spectre, if you could look quick.
Yeah. Spectre did.
I think it was like 800 or 900, I think.
I feel like 800 is the number I remember, but let's see. All right, Spectre had a budget of. They increased the budget to 245 to 300 million, so they did the same thing, and then they made 880.
Okay, so okay, I was right.
Like, why did they do that? Like, oh, we made $1 billion, now we're gonna spend half of it on the next movie. It doesn't even make sense.
Okay, so I was right.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Yeah,
I liked it. I did. I think this is a very consistent franchise. I remember when the last one came out, you had issues with the AI villain. This won't do anything to quell that. Like, if that was also like a problem, it's still here. Like this is technically the part 2 of the story. So guess what? You're still dealing with an AI. I didn't mind it as much. I think it is fairly relevant. Let's be real. People want to act like this is so crazy and far-fetched. Meanwhile, everything you see online is AI. People use Chat GPT to write their whole entire, resumes and life story. Like it is real. In a lot of ways. So it's relevant. I didn't hate it as much. The guy villain is the one that's like Gabriel or whatever.
Gabriel. Yeah.
Not that cool. Whatever. He's like trying to get a computer program for 2 movies. Like whatever. I liked this movie. I liked the callbacks to the other movies. I like certain characters coming back. I like the little flashbacks. Here's my problem with it. I like the action. I thought it was great. I thought it was very suspenseful. I thought the submarine scene was fantastic. I thought the airplane scene was fantastic. Like the action never disappoints. I don't have a problem. Here's my problem with this movie, Alex. I would say it's too long. That's number one. It's way too long. It really is. It's like 30 minutes too long. This should have been tops maybe 2 hours 15. I feel like you could have wrapped this thing up.
Yeah.
85% of the dialogue is exposition. And I don't like that. Like everyone that talks in this movie is just explaining stuff. The whole movie. Think about it. Like you get very little besides him and Luther in the scene with the bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, and a little bit with him and Haley Atwell, you get almost no like character stuff where they're just talking or developing anything. Like, and I get it's 8 movies, so like they already know each other, but like, come on, all the dialogue is explaining stuff. It's a bomb. How can we defuse it? Well, it needs to be diffused like this. So we need this amount of time. And how much is this time? And then action. And then they come back and they're still doing, well, we got to do this to get this, to get that, to do that, to do this. Like that's all the dialogue. And I think the writing is maybe the worst out of the 8 movies. Honestly, I think the script it's good in how they tied everything together, but it's bad in the dialogue department. And it bothered me. Like after 2 hours and they're still just explaining stuff. We got to go to this depth to get to this thing, to get to that thing, to get to this thing, to go over there, to do. And then there's a fight. And it's like, all right, now we got to get to this. And they're just explaining to you what they're going to do. And then they do it. So I think the script is pretty rough for this one. Otherwise, I think it's a good movie, but I don't think it's a great movie.
Yeah. All right. Look. You gave it a lot of praise. And I will say this. I was not a fan of part 1. And you know that. I hated the CGI. I mean, the alien technology. The freaking AI aspect. I did not like that shit at all. I thought it was too lazy writing. I get what they were going, why they did what they did. I just didn't like it for it. I did not like this movie. Well, let's just put it this way. I thought this movie was better than part 1.
Okay.
But I just did not like this one. Yeah, I just didn't like it. And I agree with you. Everything was over explanations. Number 2, I just felt like it was very formulaic. I guess I don't know how to say it. I hope I said it right. It was
Formulaic.
very formula.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, once you saw the part one, you kind of knew what it was gonna lead up to, and I started to notice the pattern of it from what is it? Mission Impossible Endgame? No, not Endgame. What's the one with the Fallout?
Fallout.
From Fallout to Final Reckoning, it's kind of the same script. Just remove where they're at and remove what it is. And I don't want people to go, okay, oh, you're hating on it. I'm not hating on it. Think about it. In Fallout, he has to defuse a nuclear bomb that's going to radiate a little town. In this one, he has to now defuse a nuclear bomb that will destroy and everybody in the planet because the AI is taking over and it'll be Judgment Day from Terminator is going to happen. Like, pretty much. But the way he gets from point A to point B to point C, they're all the same beat by beat. It was not different at all. Ethan, you're the only one that could do this. And he's like, oh, okay. He's doing the long runs. This time it was 3 long runs in this movie. He had to get to this guy. And oh my God, he's going to jump on a plane. This dude ran, and I'm not going to lie. And I was like, how the hell did he end up in the airport? This dude ran from one point and ended up at the airport and still got on top of the plane. And I was like, come on, bro. There's no way you would have caught to this bad guy taking off from the plane already. Like, literally. Like, that's the thing that annoyed me. And I was just like, and I like the stunts. I thought the stunts were very well done. I thought it was really cool. But I just started to go, oh, come on, man. The scene with the submarine. I love the way it was shot in IMAX. I thought it was pretty cool. But then I said, come on, the lady just told you if you breathe without the air thing, your lungs will explode. And the first thing he does is the stupid submarine drops him another 1,000 feet, gets rid of the oxygen tank, and he's breathing. I was like, my wife was like, yo, because she's a scuba diver. So she was just like, he would have died already. She was like, that pressure would have killed him. And I was just like, yeah, I guess, but it's Mission Impossible. So I was like,
yeah, I have a hard time doing stuff like that in a movie.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
So, like, come on.
I was just like, okay, great. But then, I don't know. Honestly, I just felt like this, and then the AI, and then the bad guy. The bad guy is Dominic Green, bro. He's the reincarnation of Dominic Green. Like,
he's the worst. That guy was the worst.
The worst. Yeah.
Dominic Green is worse.
Dominic Green was worse, but this Spanish
this guy's also not good.
He's not good at all. Like, there was no fights between them. None, bro. Like, I waited 2 movies to see if this guy's gonna whoop his ass for killing Rebecca Ferguson, because I know I would have. No, we didn't get that. It was stupid plane aerial assaults, and he's like, bin. I don't know. Honestly, Nate, I don't want to say a waste of film, but I think I'm gonna have to use the term waste of film, that this could have been another plot for another movie to end the whole thing. Like, if you're gonna bring everyone back, because I like the cameos, it should have been big and grand, like something crazy. But they decided to do a 2-part AI crap. That's my thing. Like, if we're not getting another 007 movie, fine. I mean 007, another Mission Impossible, I'm okay with it. Whatever, it is what it is. But this should have been the movie that had a crazy plot point that Ethan has to go all stops. But they decided to do a 2-part. Like, that's the thing that irks me, man. Like, and I'm like, oh, you could have brought back Jeremy Renner. We didn't get to see Agent Branton back, right? We didn't get Maggie Q. What happened to Maggie Q? She was part of the team. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You could have brought back mad people. And I love the whole tie to the son of the bad guy from the first movie.
Yeah.
That should have been the plot point of this movie. He should have been the bad dude for killing his dad. Bring the full circle, end the damn thing this way. They didn't decide. It was a 2-part AI BS. So for me, I'm not going to slap it points to be like, oh, this is a horrible movie. Like, I'm giving this a 7 out of a 10 because it was a very enjoyable movie, but it was very disappointing that we didn't get a final. Like, if you want to call it Final Reckoning, awesome, whatever. But it wasn't, I didn't feel like it was final, because at the end of the movie, you felt like they could do another mission. I was just like, okay.
I do like that, though, because in a way, I don't want them to make another one. Let me start with that. I'm okay with this being the last one.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't do that thing of like, it's called the final reckoning, so you know what's gonna happen. Everyone's gonna die. I don't like that either. It's like, well, that's
No,
also
but
stupid. So I agree with you in that it's the doors open, but I do hope I I looked and I was on another stream we were talking about, it, and I looked at like Tom Cruise's upcoming movies,
yeah.
and they all sound awesome. I hope he does all of those and not another Mission Impossible. You know what I mean? Like, do something different. I love this franchise. I think it's super solid. And I'm gonna go to the chat in a minute. I gave this one
Yeah.
an 8. I thought it was good.
Mm.
Um, very good. I thought it was very good. And on a technical level, you know, as a sort of like a film um nerd type level, I love the sort of the craft of filmmaking. I think it's very well made. I think it's not very well written,
No.
but I think it looked fantastic. I did see it, and I saw it in like the biggest IMAX screen we have here in Orlando, and it was great. The stunts are great. I'm
No, no,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
disagree with one of these chats I'm about to read a
Uh-oh.
little bit. So we'll go here. Scott says, "I reckon it's the final." I think that's what you said, or maybe he said that. He's
No,
trying
he
to be a
said that.
guy. Okay, haha. Good joke, Scott. Harrison said, here's Harrison, and this is why I kind of disagree. He said, just saw Final Reckoning last night. It was meh, which that's fine. Way too long. I hated all the exposition scenes. I agree. Where people finish each other's sentences. Yes. He said the plane stunt and sub were cool, I guess. And that's where I mean, on a technical level, they were fantastic. Like, dude, I would like the submarine scene is so well executed. So I don't think it's just, I mean, if he didn't really like it, fine. I thought it was extremely well done. And I don't mean after, like the part you're talking about where he leaves. I mean, like in there, the
Oh, no, no, no.
suspense.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's amazing. I think it was better than just cool, but Harrison's a hard guy to please, I guess. But he did like Fast X. Never forget.
He likes Dom riding down the
Yeah,
Hoover Dam.
he like that. Okay, Scott said Mission Impossible caught them stitches. Yeah, from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Tony, I like the final reckoning. It was definitely a bit lackluster as far as the final goes, but it was good. And I like some of the callbacks to Mission Impossible 1. And I love my girl Haley Atwell. Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
Alex, it was not too long. He's telling you it was not
Who?
too long. Tony told you it's
Oh,
not
that
too
was
long.
way too.
And then Harrison says Fallout was a better end to the franchise.
Yes.
Scott says I haven't seen any Mission Impossible besides the first two.
Why
We're gonna
are
have
you
to look for
living
a
a
new
rock?
intern. What do you watch? That's because he's watching all them weirdo movies. He's an action movie guy's intern, and he's never seen 6 out of the 8 movies. We're gonna have to check his resume. Tony says, I love Dead Reckoning. It was great. Definitely my personal favorite of the friend. So he loved the one you hated the most. Tony loved it. And they said, Nate, didn't you not like Lilo and Stitch? Correct. I did not think it was good. Tony says, I don't think Mission Impossible has ever had $1 billion. Yeah, that's true. I seem to be the only person that doesn't mind long movies. And that's not true. I don't mind long movies if it calls for it. There is a such thing as a certain movie or type of movie being too long, and this is one of them. Not every long movie needs to be a long movie.
It doesn't need to be a long movie, but if it's told right, a long movie feels like a short movie. And
Exactly.
Braveheart, Gladiator, like 3 hours long, and I can finish that joint. Oh, Lord of the Rings? Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of them are 3 hours long. And
Yeah.
they fly by when they're good.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is it drags. So when a lot of times when people say it's too long, it's not just the runtime, it's the runtime and the pacing kind of combined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Harrison said, Tony said, do you think this is worse than Mission Impossible 2? No,
No.
I don't. I don't
No.
think it's worse.
No.
Harrison says, it's also why I hate two-parters. They stop halfway through and end on a cliffhanger, then start again in the middle of the story. I hate that. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Then Scott says, no, you can't kill Tom Cruise. He's Lex Grossman. Harrison says, I also hated how a throwaway character from the first film is fleshed out character in this one. I like that. He thinks it's cheesy. I don't mind that at all. And then he says that was stupid. He disagrees with you. That was stupid too. It happens to be Jim's son. So dumb. That character. That's the son.
No, I don't think so. I think it.
Harrison is just on a
my
rampage,
voice cracked, but yeah, like I don't think it was dumb. I think it was pretty a cool nod to the first. You're not gonna bring John Voight back. So
yeah.
so I thought it was cool because he always hated Ethan Hunt throughout the whole series, and then you know why, because he killed his dad.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense.
All right. Well, he hates it.
Oh, he hates it.
Tony said the villain I thought was better in Dead Reckoning. He gave this one a 7 out of 10.
Mm.
So same as you. I gave it an 8. And then the last thing, Harrison says at least Ethan lives. Bond dies at the end of his last film. So
Oh,
stupid.
don't even get me
Don't
started.
get
I have
don't
not
activate
even
him, Harrison.
I have not seen No Time to Die since the theater. I brought it on 4K, didn't put it on because it is one of the stupidest
You didn't
endings.
just buy it on 4K. You bought a super deluxe mega
Oh
set.
no, I brought everything. I got an Aston Martin in the garage from the movie. I got everything. No, but I don't even get me started. It's
And
just,
then Tony wraps it up with making an incredible comparison. That's like when they said the final Purge was the final movie of the franchise, and then they announced they're doing another film. He connected this to the Purge, and that's impressive.
That's true. Very, very smart. All right,
So
here we go.
not your favorite, not my favorite. Well made, in my opinion.
Very
Harrison
well-made.
hated it. Tony liked it. We both liked it, didn't love it. And Scott doesn't watch these movies.
He doesn't know what a Mission Impossible
He's an action
is.
movie intern and hasn't seen any Mission Impossibles except 2.
Well, it's time to start off with another franchise called The Karate Kid.
A franchise we ranked here on the channel.
We did. So let's talk about some karate, right?
Oh,
Karate Kid. Budget, $45 million. I mean, it's not that hard to get Danny LaRusso up in here. It's like $2. You good. But anyway, $45 million budget. Movie grossed over 75. It might end at maybe 80-ish around there. Plus some Blu-rays and DVD sales and 4K sales. Could be a successful movie.
Over 100 altogether.
Could be. This movie was straight to the point. I don't think the running time was an hour. Was it an hour 34? It was really short. I felt like it was like 30 minutes. I think it was
honestly
short.
It felt like a TV episode.
It was. It felt pretty cool. But anyway, with that said, Nate, anything surprising about these numbers?
No. No, I think the Jaden Smith one did better than this. But
yes, it did.
Yeah, but that was also the first time it was like Jackie Chan. It was also like a while ago. So, no, not really. Especially, I mean, good, 45 million. If it makes a little more, it'll start to be a little profitable, but it didn't cost much to make. So, no, I think in the international being close again, Jackie Chan factor. He's popular worldwide. So nothing surprising here.
Yeah, you know what's crazy though, and I don't want to sound like a hater or whatever, but I don't think this thing is a popular franchise. Like, I don't want people to go crazy on me. Hear me out. All right, hear me out.
Yeah.
You had a so-called Cobra Kai. Everyone loved Cobra Kai. Everybody was part of the Cobra Kai movement, right? Like, oh, you got to see Cobra Kai. Everyone loved freaking, Karate Kid 1 through 3. Everyone's all up in the ball sack. Then this movie comes out, and it doesn't even break 100. For all the people that Cobra Kai fans, like, why didn't they go out? Maybe because like Johnny wasn't there. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But it's still a Karate Kid movie. It's still linked to the TV show one way or another. So I'm very surprised that the fans of Cobra Kai didn't run out to see this movie. Also because it is Karate Kid. But I don't know. I know you didn't see the TV show. I saw the TV show because I had surgery and I was like, I need to see something while I was out. And I decided to see Cobra Kai. So I was like, okay. It was mad corny.
Yeah.
But this movie came out. So Nate, we were both fans of the remake. We both thought it was the best one of the series.
I liked the first one the best.
Yeah.
But I thought the remake was the second best because I thought all the sequels were.
Yeah, you thought the other ones. I think I liked the remake better than the original. But that was me. But
true.
What did you think of Legends when you saw it?
It looks like you're wearing a Karate Kid Legend shirt, and I love that. It's like
it does. Oh shit! Let me see that.
You got a Karate Kid Legends t-shirt.
Let me see if I can put it right there. So public marketing right here.
Free. They gotta put it on a shirt. Okay. I did not like this movie. I did not like this movie. And I'm glad you brought up the Cobra Kai thing because I have a theory on that. And I'll share it after you go.
Yeah.
Now, first, this movie. okay, everything Harrison said about Mission Impossible actually applies to this. You want
Mm.
to talk about super cheesy, corny, lame? That's this movie. I cannot take it seriously. I don't get too hung up on the whole New York. Okay, so this is set in New York. You know, Alex, we've talked about it. I love a New York movie. I do. Like movies that are set in New York.
Yeah.
I don't get too hung up if they film there or not. If it at least feels like New York. This don't even feel like New York, dude. I was just there. I was just there last month. This is like not very. It doesn't even feel like they're in New York. Really, it just seems like they're calling it that. You know what I mean? Especially that last fight, and we talked about it offline.
Oh.
That fight. I'm like, I barely made it. Like I watched the whole last bit of the movie like this with my arms like ready to push myself up and get up because I was like, this needs to end already. Um, okay, let's start. Let me just do a couple of positives. I thought the kid was good. The new kid, like
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
karate kid. I did like him. I thought he was, I liked his performance. I think he did what the role needed. I did not dislike him. I like the cast actually in general. Like I like it. Ming Na Wen plays his mom. Love her. She's great. Jackie Chan is back. Always great. Love him. Um, Ralph Macchio was good in this. Like it felt like he was playing a grown up version of Daniel Russo. Don't hate that. Um, Joshua Jackson as the dad, the pizza guy, though, didn't work for me. Didn't like. I like him, but I didn't like him in this role. I didn't like the daughter. I didn't like their little. This movie's for kids. That's my problem with this movie's for kids. And you got to
Mm.
remember, they're kind of all for kids. Like, let's be real. The Karate Kid franchise is for children. You know, maybe in the 80s, probably teenagers, right? Like
Yeah.
middle school, high school. That's the target audience. So you go in this in your 30s, 40s, and this movie, if you're not with a kid, like I saw a dad and his son there, and they seem to like watching it together. And I think it works in that way. I just went to see this by myself, and I was like, this movie's for children. It's got really good fights, but not too violent. Not too violent, but it has good choreography. The storyline is real corny. Um, Also, I only like the last half hour. The rest of it didn't even feel like a Karate Kid to me. And here's my theory, and then I'll let you go with the Cobra Kai thing. Someone else said so. One of my friends was like, "Man, these kids in this movie, in Cobra Kai, these kids they're like committing felonies. They're like, they're like bad and blah blah blah. And this movie is like it's just so soft, whatever." And then someone else asked me if it was as good as Cobra Kai. Now I don't watch it, so I told them I've never seen Cobra Kai. My theory is Cobra Kai is made for people in their 40s who grew up watching Karate Kid. This movie is not. This movie is made for new, younger people to enjoy. They have the little scene at the end that has Johnny from
Yeah.
from the original. I feel like that was throwing a bone, to the 80s kids out there. Oh, here he's Johnny. But I do not think they were ever meant to be in the same sort of ballpark because that movie is nostalgic for people who grew up on it, and this is for a new audience. And so it never crossed my mind that this was going to have like Cobra Kai people in it or anything like that. Either way, I didn't love it. I think there's a couple of good things about it, but I thought it was pretty corny for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was very corny. But I kind of enjoyed this movie. It was weird. Like, you know what it was, Nate? And I think it was the running time. Like it was just a cool a cool date movie, a cool like hang out with your friend movie. Like, yo, let's just go to the movies and catch and watch, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's hang out and watch this. Yeah, let's just hang out and it's a short to the point movie. I had fun with it. I thought Jackie Chan was really good. I mean, he doesn't do none of his like Rumble in the Bronx stuff, but you get some of that with the young kid, and I thought that was really fun. I thought it was really cool. My only negatives, Joshua Jackson, totally agree. I was like, it didn't feel whatever, but you know what? I saw Cobra Kai, so I saw that corniness. So to me, I was like, okay, it links with the show, mad corny. But one of my negatives is the 5 borough fight tournament. And I told you this. This joint was like a straight Street Fighter, one in the subway, one in a, in a hospital, like
In a
security,
back alley with
in the back.
graffiti.
Yes, with like I'm like, I live in New York. I mean, I live in Jersey, but I go into New York and I don't see graffiti like that anymore.
No.
Like 80s graffiti. I'm like, oh my God. But the one that got me all like, what is this? Is on top of a hospital in a helipad in a
With a scoreboard.
with a, oh well, yeah, with a scoreboard, and it was like 350. I mean, this thing was like, I'm talking about people. I'm talking about like a hospital rooftop, like, and it had like hundreds of people up there, like on the edge of the fucking thing, like that's
Seems
not
risky
even.
to put kids
Yes,
up
mad
there like
risky,
that. Yeah.
mad risky, and these dudes are fighting, and I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I'm a guy who's scared of height. There's no fucking way I'm fighting in the rooftop. I'm like, yo, dude, you won. Like, I don't care.
Doing flying kicks on a rooftop.
with high winds. Imagine getting blown off a roof doing the dragon tail. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, that final ending was really good between two young actual fighters. Like, they really fought. Like, I thought that was
choreography
really
was
good. Yes, the choreography is the best in the whole Karate Kid franchise, I think, in this movie. But the outlandish freaking set pieces on this thing, and they try to make it very like modern, like fight, and you see it come across the screen. It was like stuffed crust versus
The overlay where it's like it shows
Yeah.
the tournament and they're like moving on, and it's
Yeah.
very, very sports movie,
Yeah.
but like the kind of the cheesy kind.
They were trying to mimic the first one, but with like high tech graphics, and I was just like, this shit ain't working, bro. Like, no one's gonna be fighting on top of a rooftop of a helipad. Like, what happened if that helicopter was coming with 300 people on top of the roof?
You know what made me mad? And this might be okay. Minor spoiler, whatever. Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know how you could spoil the Karate Kid. It's not exactly
don't-
like you're talking about a
Yeah.
secret deep plot here. The kid goes in a tournament and he does karate. Okay, listen. Here's what pissed me off. This kid has actual trauma in his life because
Yeah.
he saw his brother get murdered in front of him. That's in the movie, okay? He gets stabbed. He gets jumped and stabbed, and he was scared. He couldn't save him. He also was like, he looked like he was 14 years old. So I mean, what was he gonna do? He has trauma, right? They go and the guy Joshua Jackson gets beat up in a boxing match where the referee just lets this dude like freaking do headbutts and drop kicks. I'm like, what is going on at this boxing match? Anyway, he gets beat up. He got to go to the hospital. And the kid can't go, like, he's having like flashbacks, like PTSD from the hospital, like legit. And this freaking girl is like, you gotta come with us. Come in. First of all, he's not related. He doesn't, I don't even know if they're gonna let him in the room or anything like that. You know what I mean? He's not family. But she's like, come on. He's like, I can't do it. Like, I don't blame him. And then she's like, she don't want to talk to him no more. And I hate crap like that. Like, this poor kid, he like legit, that's legit. And I just feel like I don't like in these movies when they use something like that to make the romance angle have struggles. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we got to get these two kids to have some problems because they got to work it out at the end. That wasn't a good way to have to like, that's messed up. She's like, I don't care if your brother died. Get in this hospital with me and my dad. And I was like, dumb. And they made me not like her character that much. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a nitpick, I guess, but I didn't like it.
Well, the crazy thing is she didn't know what happened. The father did.
She didn't.
Yeah, she didn't.
You're
No,
right.
no,
But
she didn't. No,
even
but I
still,
agree with you in the whole that whole plot. I agree, but like in
there
that
must be a
situation,
reason. It's not just he wasn't like, no, I'm not going in.
no,
No.
he was like
He
sweating.
looked like he was like, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, something got to
Yeah.
be up.
And his
so
mom is the one who's bringing him in too.
That's
she-
true. That too.
Yeah.
That too,
So
it's fine.
anyway, yeah. So what do you give this movie?
4 out of 10.
Wow, a 4 out of 10.
Didn't like it.
I ain't gonna lie. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I give it a 7. So far, I got the 7s going. But I give it a 7.
You gave everything a 7 so far.
I give it a 7. Yeah, I enjoyed them. I haven't had a bad experience yet
good.
in the theater. I said
love
yet.
that.
I said yet. We still
Oh.
got one movie. But yes, I was like, wow. I was like,
I'm
But I did
glad you're
enjoy it.
going to the theater.
Oh,
and
yeah, I
liking
know.
the movies you're seeing. That's the best. Who
Ye-
wants to go and hate movies?
yeah. Oh, Harrison.
Harrison, apparently, he's like, I'm going to
Harrison.
spend I know I'm not going to like this, and I'm going to spend my money and my 3 hours and then hate it. Classic Harrison.
Classic.
Oh, let's see. Did anyone talk about this? Scott says Karate Kid Legends is the dumbest name. It makes it sound like a Mortal Kombat. It's kind of. And then
Yeah.
Harrison says, I forgot this came out. I like the first Karate Kid. The second and the third were okay. I never saw the fourth one or Cobra Kai. And then he said, oh, yeah, I did see the Jackie Chan one. But he did not say if he liked it or not. He just said he saw it. I'm guessing he didn't really like it.
All right.
Oh, Ballerina Cappuccina.
We are up to the latest installment of the John Wick franchise called
Universe.
From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. So the reason they had to title that because there was already another movie called Ballerina that came out. So they had to include the whole From the World of John Wick. So people go, oh, guess what? This is in the world. So, Nate, this movie was now this is where you're gonna get shocked. This movie was budgeted, it says 80 to 90, but I'm gonna say 90. $90 million to make. Okay.
Yep.
As of right now, this movie, and sorry to hurt your bubbles, people, is a floppity doodah. Flop. So we're up for the 3 days, it only made 25 million. That is not a good sign at all.
Well, it was projected at 30, so it just fell a little under. It wasn't projected to do crazy numbers.
Yeah, it didn't do as well. But
here's why you're right. because next week or this week, How to Train Your Dragon comes out, and that is gonna make like $100 million this weekend. So
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna make big money.
This thing is it might be a flop. And this is what I'm scared of because of the flopness that's going to happen with the Ballerina. I hope it doesn't scare studios and people that invest money into films for the John Wick series to be afraid to go, oh, we want to greenlight another. And I'm not talking about a Ballerina sequel. I'm talking about anything in the world of John Wick. Like, that's my thing. I hope it doesn't scare it because we already know if John Wick 5 comes out, theater's packed. They're going to see the Baba Yaga. Like, everyone's going to go see the theater. Everyone's going to go. But I hope because of the flopness of this movie, it doesn't hurt other properties that could potentially be risen from the ground for John Wick. So I have a theory and I have an idea for a spinoff. And then you let me know if this is something that you will say, you know what, Alex, you should write to them and say you should do it. But so we already talked about this. So what let's go into the movie. All right, let's talk about the movie. Because I'm dying to talk about this movie.
Now, I do think it should be said.
Go
The
ahead,
original John Wick only made $86 million at the box office. And it's a franchise.
But
I say that it only had like a $30 million budget.
Well, besides that, physical media and word of mouth went all over the place.
But I think this movie's going to do good on physical as well. I do.
Well, I already pre-ordered both steelbooks from Walmart and Amazon.
Look, if you already pre-ordered 2 steelbooks, it's
well, that's because I am a John Wick lover.
I know, but people
you
watch these kind of movies at home a lot.
Yes.
So I think when it's all said and done, Lionsgate won't be upset. But I don't think it's going to be a big box office hit.
Well, I put on my Ballerina t-shirt right now.
Okay,
so
I like that. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I put on my t-shirt right now. So Nate,
yes.
What? Because we didn't get to talk about this yet. So what is your likes and dislikes about the Ballerina?
I do have both. I have likes and I have dislikes. Let me lead with this. I liked this movie. I liked it.
Gotcha.
I did not hate it. You asked me if you would like it. I said, I don't know. It could go either way. I know you're going to like one aspect of it, but other than that, I don't know. This movie's doing really good as far as with reviews. People seem to be liking it. Yeah. Like the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is 93. Audience, I'm not talking critics. Yeah, and the critics is 75. So it's like it's well reviewed. This is from Tony's favorite director, Len Wiseman. I know it's not his favorite, but he loves him. Total Recall remake, that's his boy. With some reshoots on action from Chad Stahelski.
Oh, you could tell which ones are those. You can tell exactly which scenes.
Yeah, yeah. I know for a fact he had to shoot the Keanu scenes.
Yes,
There's
yes,
no
yeah, it
doubt in
has
my
that.
mind he shot the Keanu scenes and
Yes.
like one other one, but the rest seem like Len Wiseman. And I don't hate Len Wiseman.
No.
Let's get one thing out the way. I think he's a good action director. We liked Live Free or Die Hard. He directed that.
Oh yeah, that's
I
my favorite
like
one.
the
Yeah.
first two Underworld movies. Like I don't have I didn't like Total Recall the remake, but I don't think he's a bad director. So let me get this out the way. Positives. The action is great. It really is. In a sea of action movies that come out, um, this one feels like a John Wick movie at times. Again, those moments we just touched on. However, this one honestly is really it's pretty brutal. There's some parts in this that are like all I'll say is because this is brand new, so I don't want to do spoilers, but all I'll say is there's some scenes that involve grenades and the result of said grenade, loved it. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Like if someone gets hit with a grenade, that's how it should go. So I like that. I thought Anna de Armas looks incredible. Absolutely. Um, I liked her in the role. She doesn't talk much, but this is not this is not a dialogue driven. Nobody talks a lot in these movies. You know what I mean? Like they're not talking. You don't go to see John Wick or the Ballerina to hear the dialogue, the incredible dialogue. So I don't care. They're all kind of quiet. Good cast here. Gabriel Byrne, um, who's your boy from End of Days. He's the villain in this movie. Angelica Houston comes back. What's his name? Lance Riddick. You get like a lot of John Wick people in smaller roles. And then you also have Norman Reedus in a small role here. Good cast. Great. I would legitimately say great action. It does have great action. Let me get to the negatives. And I told you this too. I think the story is very bland, honestly. It's just there to get you through these set pieces. Like enough happens for you to get to the next action scene, and then a little bit happens in the next action scene. And I will say, I'm gonna try to dance around this because again, I don't want to do spoilers. There's a reveal of who one of the villain characters is in relation to the lead character. And I think they fumbled the ball really bad there with like how that all kind of went down. I hope you know what I'm referring to because you've seen it. But their sort of history with each other, I felt like it happened. Everything happened too fast, and the result was too short. You know what I mean? So I didn't like how they handled that. If you're gonna have a reveal, it got to last more than 4 minutes of film, in my opinion. Like that's pretty much what it is. I think it was simple. I think it was effective. I went to see action and I was not disappointed. So I liked the movie. I didn't go in there being like, man, I hope this is like, incredible Oscar winning dial. Nope. I don't care. Look cool, have good action, and don't ruin it. Like don't ruin the John Wick universe. And I don't think they ruined it. I don't think it added anything to it, but it didn't ruin it. So I liked it. I did like it as a piece of popcorn entertainment.
Man, this is gonna be hard for me without spoiling something. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard for me because certain stuff I wanted to talk about. But okay, so this is what I will say because I'm a big John Wick fanboy. I can say I'm a fanboy.
Yes.
I will say this movie lands perfectly in that world. Like literally you could go, oh, okay, this is definitely in the world of John Wick. Now, in terms of this is my positives. One thing it did prove that you do not need Chan Kahelski and you don't need David Lynch to do another movie. This director, whether you like him or not, did an excellent job with the camera work that it made you feel like you were still watching it in the style of John Wick. The fighting sequences felt like you're watching a John Wick movie. And I'm not saying it's a female John Wick. Anyone that shoots,
it just fits in.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like whatever style that these people are fighting, it's gonna fall into John Wick style because they all learn the same type of martial arts, but different team, what do you call it? Different
clans.
Different clans have different fighting styles. Just like when you watch a martial arts movie, one person could be jiu-jitsu, the other one could be whatever, but at the end of the day, they all look the same. They choreographed. So that's what I would say the positives and stuff. John Wick, a super duper positive. Cameo, loved it. It was more than a cameo because he was there for a while. Very well done. Very well done. I thought it was pretty cool. Ana de Armas. The best thing about this movie that she did not talk. And I will say this. I'm not a big I don't watch movies with her. I don't think she can act. I don't watch none of her movies, and I'm not someone that gravitates to her work anyway. So for me, when she was talking, I was just like, whatever. But when she's quiet, I said, all right. And just like Keanu Reeves is not the greatest actor ever, but his best roles are the ones that he's quiet. Like, Neo is not he's not an Oscar performing.
Keanu Reeves is not a good actor.
No, he's
People
not.
just like him.
Yeah.
I like him. You like him. You want to be friends with him.
I do want to be friends with him.
A thespian.
Yeah, so Ana de Armas, I was just like, okay. I was just, they didn't talk much, and that was what one of my biggest afraid when I went to see it was, damn, I hope she doesn't have much dialogue, because I wasn't too crazy where she has a big accent. She's like Salma Hayek. That was my biggest thing with Salma Hayek, and Nate is my proof, because we did a movie with Salma Hayek, and I didn't like her speech. Beverly, yeah. I was like, oh my God, I was like, her talking threw me out of the movie for most of the time. So, again, that was that. Cameos from Lance Reddick got me sad because that's his final role as the role. And for those of you out there, this movie takes place between 2 and 3. So
3 and 4.
No, 2 and 3.
No, 3 and 4. He got his finger was already cut off. Yeah, it's 3 and 4.
Oh, his finger was cut. Yeah. So 3 and 4. Yeah. Because he has to escape to go to yeah.
Remember,
so
he goes and gets the tattoo thing and all.
Yeah. Right. So it's 3 and 4. So I kind of like that. The whole ballerina thing, Angela Hudson, I wasn't too crazy with her. I felt like her roles were better in the John Wick was when, again, she was quiet Russian lady. The more they gave her more dialogue, I was just like, she's not as strong. Like, she didn't portray the strong female Russian lady leader. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that. My negatives. Because, I mean, there's tons of positive. I mean, I could talk about action all day because this thing had it. I mean, there was one shot in the movie. And all I say is it was in the alleyway in New York. And I thought that was handled very well thinking. And one shot.
That was cool.
Anyway.
Also, the flamethrower scene is, I thought it was not going to be good. And it was awesome.
I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up for people. Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up. But yeah, that was sick. That was sick. But I would say this. My negatives with Ballerina was... there was a few. I did not like the storyline. I was not into the storyline at all. Number 2, for the love of God, they did not need to show John Wick in the trailer, because a lot of people in the theater, and I kept hearing whispers going, "When is John Wick coming out?" And you know what? I started to think the same thing too. I'm like, damn. I was like, where is he coming out? Because now he's in the movie. And you start questioning, like, damn, where is he coming out now? Like, you want to see him on screen. I think that should have been a special thing. Like, they should have had, like, she pick up the phone and she could have said, I'm going to reach out to someone to take care of this. And that's it. And the next thing you know, you saw the train.
I mean, the train scene would be his debut.
Yes, the debut without, whatever. Like, and you don't need to show him, in the scene that they linked the movies. You didn't need that scene there. You could have heard it. People going, John Wick is in the building. And she let the Baba Yaga. But I don't know, bro. I would
have been cool with them showing that part. But he just, remember, because
he left. They should have shown him leaving. Yeah.
No, they should have just showed him walking down the stairs, and that's it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But my thing is like, I felt like the trailer for me showed too much, bro. Like, I was just like, and then you're sitting there going, where's my man Baba Yaga going to show it? Like, I wanted to see this dude. But look, he did not disappoint in the movie. I'll just tell you this right now. When my brother comes down those stairs, it's over. But I would say is that I wish they never showed him, because when that train pulls up and then you hear the song, his theme song for all the John Wick kicks in, because my theater got hyped when they showed his foot. That would have, you talking about people going crazy, you would have had the theater erupt if you would have saw John Wick come down those steps. And then you can't tell me you wouldn't. If you heard that music pull up and you see my man just walk down, you would have been like, "Oh my god, Wick is here," and it would have been
I
like,
agree
"Oh,
with you. I
yeah."
agree with you. I just
I
feel I see from a marketing perspective, it's tough to be like, this is in the John Wick universe, and then not show him because people are gonna be like, I don't want to watch that because there's no John Wick. So they show him to try to get people to come see it. But then the downside is he's not in it. It's not a John Wick movie. So you're right. I like the purist in me wishes they didn't show him at all, and it was a surprise. But
I agree.
the brain part of me where it's like, well, there's a studio trying to fill seats. I get why they did it. But I agree with you. I wish they didn't.
Or to at least show the scene of him going down the stairs. That's all you needed. You didn't
Like a
need to
foot.
show the, huh?
Just his foot.
No, just the no. Just
Oh,
the
just the part I
no
was
the
talking about.
scene. Yeah, the scene that he was in the whole doing the connecting of 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. That he's walking down the stairs. You could have showed that because people would have been like, "Is this in the movie? Is this shot for the trailer?" Like you really don't know. But then in the trailer they show that you see the Baba Yaga coming down, they shooting at each other, and I was like, "Oh my
They shouldn't have showed
god!"
him. Now that
They
I'm thinking
should have
about it,
never
they
showed
should have
him.
showed Angelica Houston, show Ian McShane, show literally all the other John Wick people. That way you know, oh look,
Yes.
John Wick.
Or
And just
let
leave him
him
as a surprise.
Or let him say, like, oh, the bad guy, one of the bad guys do say his name. You could have had him say the name. Like, the Baba Yaga. And then that's it. Boom, the trailer ends. And you be like, oh my
He's
God,
on the
it's John
damn
Wick.
poster, which was a bad idea too.
That was so stupid.
He's on
I'm
the
telling you,
poster.
let me tell no, Nate, I was sitting there, bro. I was sitting there going, why? Like, I was just, when the movie ended, and my thoughts started to rain upon me, I was like, why did they say his name? Like, I wanted to feel like amped. And I think that would have, and let me tell you, the soundtrack for this movie, while it was semi lackluster, the scenes with John Wick sounded amazing because it was all the music from part 1 through 4. So you're like, oh my god, they tried to give her own style of music, but it is what it is. This is what I would just say. Enough with the assassins story. Enough with the assassins. It's time for me to step on my soapbox and listen to me, Lionsgate. Enough with from the world of John Wick and giving us different assassins. I want to see something different. And this is where I will give you some pointers out there, okay? I want to see Aurelio's garage in a movie.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo's character. You know how unique that is? Stealing cars for the assassins. You see it from their world. They don't need to fucking do fighting and kung fu either. But see it from the underground of cars. Like, how do they suit them up? How do they get it from point A? Maybe there'll be a scene in the movie if you want to connect John Wick where Aurelio goes, don't touch that Mustang because that's JW's. You know what I mean? Like, do something. But I want to see it from that point of view. I don't want to see no more, you know, a new character come up, and now it's another assassin from, you know, Yugoslavia, and then I'm like, oh, here we go, and then John Wick got to now fly across the world to stop. Like, no, I want to see from them. I want to see them. I want to see the cleaners. Why not do a movie with the cleaners and the vehicle guys, like from their point of view? Like, I want to see something different. World building. Give me some world building in this world, in the John Wick world. This wasn't world building. This was just adding a new character into the world. So now when John Wick 5, if it ever comes out, now you go, well, is Anna de Armas going to show up? Is she going to fight? Is she going to help him? Like, I don't like that. I want to see the garage guys build some stuff.
I'll tell you what I didn't like, and then I also have an idea that I think would be cool. I didn't like the villains in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had questions.
Oh,
I'm
there
like,
was so much.
They just like say stuff, and you're just supposed to kind of go with it, you know? And I'm like, but why? How? This town that they live in? How? What's going on? What do they do really? Because remember, they're all like in this town, but also all over the place. Like, I don't get it. But you know what would be cool? If they did a John Wick movie where John Wick is actually the villain, in the sense of kind of how he was in this movie in that scene. But imagine if it was all throughout. Like, you're following a totally different character, and he just keeps running away from John Wick. And John Wick is like really the boogeyman. He keeps popping up, trying to assassinate that person. I think it would be so cool. The villain, in the sense of, you know, we know he's not a bad. Well, technically he was. I mean, assassins are bad guys. They're not like good people.
Yeah.
He killed people for money, but not the hero of the story. Our hero could be someone else, and he's just like, "Damn, this John Wick guy's trying to kill me." The whole movie, he'll be like Jason or Michael Myers,
Oh,
just trying to hunt down. That would be cool.
yeah, it could be he's the hit. Like they put a hit on him, and
Exactly.
John Wick is
Is the one that takes the contract, and the
Yeah.
whole movie is him just
Yeah.
trying to escape John Wick. That would be
And then
awesome.
at the end, he gets him.
That would be, and yeah, I'm
Yeah,
okay. I don't care how it
that's
ends. I just want to see that movie.
I agree.
Would be
I
cool.
would see that. I don't
Yeah.
need to see another assassin. See it from the villain's point of view. John Wick going up and killing
Think about
everybody.
it. This is in the
Yeah.
trailer, so I don't want anybody to get mad who hasn't seen it. This is in the trailer. In the trailer, you'll see a part where Anna de Armas is talking to John Wick in the snow, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I've been sent to kill you, basically.
Yeah.
And then they kind of have a conversation, and then they move like it's gonna be action, but they don't show the action scene. Okay, but imagine if it was that a bunch of times, like throughout the movie, and the person just keeps trying to. Because let's be real, I guess minor spoiler. John Wick don't be losing no fights, and then definitely
Oh.
doesn't happen in this movie either. So it would be interesting to see someone
No.
just try to escape him for an entire 2-hour movie. I'd be in. I want to watch
See,
that now.
Now, this is the thing that I want people to understand. When you go see this movie
Yeah.
and you expect to see John Wick on screen, you're going to see a side of John Wick, and Nate could testify because Nate saw this.
Yes.
And I loved it. This is one thing I loved about this movie. You're going to see one side of John Wick on why he is the Baba Yaga. Like why people are afraid of him and why they fear his name. And that's all I gotta say, because honestly, even the theater was like, holy shit. Like this dude. I mean, I'll talk to Nate about it afterwards, but when you
I
see
agree.
it,
I agree with
like,
you because I feel
it
like
just-
the mainline John Wick movies lost that aura a little bit because of
Yes.
how the stories went.
and he felt very superhero-y. He gets thrown off of a building, and you're like, oh, come on. But this movie brought that lore back that I was like, bro, I want to see more of John Wick. Like, it makes you feel like wanting to watch John Wick 1, 2, whatever versions you like. But this, you're right. It brought the mystique of the Baba Yaga back. And even when I will just say, it's not minor spoiler because you see it in the trailer, but when you see Anna de Armas and him about to clash,
Yeah.
it's not a even toe to toe. It's straight up Baba Yaga is giving her the tate quieto. Like, bro, like get your ass on that damn on that train because you're
Honestly,
just
he's
not.
just trying to survive.
Yes. Yeah. No.
He's trying to survive.
he's
Which
not
I like.
trying
That's
to-
how it should be.
He's trying to be nice, but it's just like you just don't want to listen, like a kid. Like, okay, like
You're
a
right.
big
It
brother.
was a
And
It was a great. I think they utilized him extremely
very well. Very well. Very well. I think it's one of the highlights of the movie. I mean, Anna de Armas doing her stunts was very highlighted very well done. But John Wick inserting himself in this, in that aura peak, I was just like, that is God level to me. Like, that is video game God level. Like, I was just like, oh man. It's like when Darth Vader showed up on in the video game, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm losing."
Yeah. You know what? You know what
You're
they should
like,
have done
"Oh,
too?
geez."
Go to the chat.
Yeah,
They should have let her speak Spanish.
I
Listen,
agree.
She doesn't have a lot of dialogue. So why not just let her speak Spanish and put subtitles? In all the other John Wick movies, people be speaking Russian and they put subtitles. People are speaking German, whatever. I feel like they should have let her speak Spanish. And then when she needed to, like, for example, when she goes to the gun place, speak English, just to that guy because he don't
Yeah.
speak Spanish. But I feel like it would have. What was your? I gave this movie an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I thought it was actually good.
Oh, I gave this a 9.
No,
Oh,
okay.
I gave this a 9.
Enjoyed it. For the
I
most part.
enjoyed it, dude. The first beginning with the dad,
Yeah, it was
that
good.
got me on. I was like, oh my god. I think did you
The
feel?
club scene was good.
Oh, the club scene was
like it was.
it
good.
was pretty good. But did you feel like that opening minute needed to be a little bit long with the Papa? Like,
Yeah,
I just
I
felt
thought
like
it
it
was
was
a little weird,
rushed.
too.
It felt a
Yeah.
little rushed. I was just like, what am I? Who is this? And what am I? Like, is this John Wick's dad? Like, I didn't know where we were at
Yeah.
in the thing. And I was like, I needed a little bit, like, let it, like, Wiseman, you got to give me a little bit here. But man, when it started to kick off, I was just like, oh my God. I just started eating
Yeah,
popcorn.
dude, the action set pieces
Oh, it was so,
are
that scene in the beginning.
fantastic. I will
Yeah,
buy this movie.
I
And I
will.
will watch it again. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the chats. We have plenty of chats. The Ballerina, which I like. Let's see. We got here Tony, I think was the first one. He says, "I loved Ballerina. Definitely my third favorite of the franchise.
What?
Behind John Wick 2 and 4. He liked this better than 1 and 3."
Wait, 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 wait.
Very
Oh my
interesting.
God. Wait a minute. I gotta wait, 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 wait.
Tony. Yeah.
This is nowhere near John Wick 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Like nowhere near. Like I don't want to see people's list and this Ballerina is above 2, 3, or
This
even
is
4.
a really good companion piece. It's
Yes.
not better than any of the John Wick movies. I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah, no freaking way.
It's
Like,
not better than the worst John Wick, whichever one that is to you, because everyone has a different, like,
yeah,
order.
there's
So, but
again,
Tony,
I'm not
he's
gonna
the
get
one.
mad at no. Like I said, that people have their taste in movies,
Yeah.
but there's no. That's the fucking way. Like,
Then he said this was a great spin-off film. It
yes,
may have strong legs through the month. I'm
no, it
not
won't.
sure. I think
No,
it's gonna get crushed a little bit, but that's
it
okay.
might come out digitally super early. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
that doesn't it's not a mark on the film either. If it
No,
doesn't make money, it's still good. So, but Evan is here. What's up, Evan? He said,
said
"My son
Evan.
got sick over the weekend. Hope he's feeling better. He had to cancel his tickets, so he did not get to see it." Tony says, "Ballerina was a nice addition to the John Wick franchise. Seriously, one of the best female-led action flicks I've seen in a long time. Anna Darmus was born for this role. Yeah, I love my guy Len Wiseman. I feel like he's the most underrated action director." Now here comes Harrison with a Tony. You know what? Harrison tonight is Harrison Movie Chappie. That's his name because he's been having hot takes all over the
Harrison
place too.
movie chappy.
Harrison Movie Chappie said John Wick 4 was meh, so I don't know if I'll see this one. 2 is the best. 2 is his favorite.
Hmm.
Okay. I again, I okay. Sure. Uh Evan says 3 and 4. Oh, he was talking about is between. He said this is like 3.5. In
Yes,
the timeline? Yes,
yes,
exactly.
yeah.
Tony says we should thank No Time to Die for giving us Anna Darmus for giving her her big breakout action role. I mean, she was had one scene in that movie, but
Yeah,
sure. She was in
he's
The Gray
okay.
Man. She was in other action movies too.
Mm.
James. Oh, James is here. What's
Hey,
up,
what's up,
James? He said,
James?
I just came back from the theater watching Ballerina, so he's fresh.
Nice.
He said, enjoyed it very much. Fit into the world great. The movie is 100% between 3 and 4. The continental ending at 3 hasn't happened yet. Interesting. Remember, after 3, John is hit with the morphine healing, and that hasn't happened yet.
Mhm.
Um, it's after he cuts off his finger, but hasn't gone back to take out Winston. I think after this, he heads back, and the events of the the ending of 3 take place. So it's like yeah, exactly. Tony says it's the same with Jessica. Okay, it's the same with Jessica Alba. Not the best actor, but always fun to watch. Plus, she's gorgeous in Dark Angel, which is a very underrated TV show. Let me just say this: Jessica Alba, my all-time movie crush. Horrible actress, is gorgeous. I think Anna
Mm.
Darmus is a better actress than Jessica Alba. Sorry. I hope we get the Kane spinoff film with Donnie Yen
Yes, that is
starring and
coming out.
directing. All right, there you go,
Yeah, I
Tony.
think that is coming out. I'll look it up.
Then he said, Alex, didn't they do that with the John Wick television series, The Continental, with Mel Gibson? I don't know what he probably said that when we were talking about something specific. Then he gave this a 9 out of 10, so he agrees with you. JB is here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, JB.
Gentlemen, have a good show. I'm in Boston, leaving the Red Sox game. Ew. Keep up
Nice.
the good work. And JB, say hi to your Dodgers for me because the Mets beat them 4 out of 7 this year.
Spank that
Ain't
ass.
that the only one you guys won? You barely won. So, shout out to JB, the Dodger fan. Tony says, "Do you think they'll do a John Wick? Do you think they should do a John Wick 5?"
No.
You know what?
If we get the John Wick from this 3.5 version, I'll say
So
yes.
only.
Yeah. You know what? If they do another John Wick, and I'm not in this is all jokes aside. If they do another John Wick, they have to do John Wick doing the impossible task. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see what happened. I want to see how he got the Russians and he escapes that to be with his wife. I'd rather see that, and I think the entire world would want to see that because that would be action galore.
Yeah.
that impossible task. So that is just me. But I mean, other
Prequel
people,
might be the way to go for this. I feel like the ending of 4, I don't need
I don't need him.
I
He's
don't
dead.
want a follow to I don't want unless the Kane thing, that's different. Like as another spinoff, okay. I don't want another John Wick sequel. I would be okay with them going back in time for something because these movies have the best action in modern action films. They have the best. Even this one, Alex, when I went in, I was like, man, I'm excited to see this, but I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of capture it. And then they did.
They do.
It was like, this action is good. It's violent. It's gory. It was creative. They did some very creative stuff,
Yeah.
which I liked. The ice skate thing was freaking cool. The flamethrower thing was cool. That restaurant scene was cool. I'm like, okay, they mixed it up and it still was great.
Did
So, yeah.
Did you feel when you finished the movie and you did your thoughts or whatever? And I told my wife when I got in the car, I'm like, without Ballerina, there ain't no other action movie to look forward to. And I'm not talking about Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible's done. Ballerina, yeah. There's no other one that we could go. And I'm not talking about Fast Furious. That's not action.
Movies?
No, I'm talking about pure action that we go, oh, yes, fighting. And, Kane is coming out with a movie because they said he struck a deal, so they are doing the movie. I just don't know when it's coming out. But he is directing and he's acting in the movie. So whenever that movie comes out.
I'm just looking through the release calendar. And obviously there is, there's like tentpole movies, but if just pure action, and not counting superheroes. I mean, I'm already in August and I don't really Nobody 2? That's an action movie.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
No, you didn't love the first one, but I mean that is like but it's an
Yeah.
action comedy
It is. Talking about pure action.
Okay, pure action.
No, there's none.
I mean,
John Wick is like the only franchise.
I'm now in September, and Downton Abbey, definitely not that. Big Bold Beautiful Journey. What I don't even know what that is. The Strangers Chapter 2. That's horror. That's drama. I think you might be right, dude. I see like sci-fi. Like I see stuff that will have action in it, but I don't see. I feel like Mission Impossible, then this.
And that's
like
it.
The last two, that's just like pure. Like these are just action movies.
Yeah.
Period.
And then Daniel Yang just confirmed that John Wick will not be in his movie. So there ain't gonna be no John Wick in that spinoff. So don't even look for him. This is straight up.
Yeah,
Danny
dude, there's
Yang.
none. There's
none.
More,
so if you
Sisu 2, apparently.
Which one?
Sisu 2.
Sisu. Oh, I like the first one.
It comes out in November 21st, allegedly. I have never even heard of this.
I doubt it. I mean, maybe, but yeah. So my theory is right.
No, that's sci-fi.
And this is the movie. Look, and Tony, for you to say it has legs, I'll end this on this.
Yeah.
You have Ballerina, How to Train a Dragon, June 13th. June 20th, 28 years later. Megan 2.0, June 27th. That movie is not going to make any money towards the end of this one.
But F1 is going to do pretty good. I think.
Oh, no, and F1. Yeah. So you have that also.
28 years later is tracking extremely well. Like it's like tracking for over 50 million opening weekend.
Well, I got my money already. But
Harrison said, I'll gladly wear the title of Harrison Movie Chappie. That's you tonight, Harrison. Harrison Movie Chappie.
But anyway, I mean, this is a long stream. But yeah, so with that said, I highly recommend it, and everyone should go out and support it. I think it was really good.
I liked it.
Some parts will drag here and there, but with that said, it's due to story. But I enjoyed it for what it was. It fits right in. Winston was dope in this movie also. So, with that, Nate,
what was the question, Tony? I made him a promise. I said we'd go back to his question.
Something with the rights of Texas Chainsaw.
Okay, let me read it because I did say we would go back. Okay, question. What are your thoughts on the bidding war of the Texas Chainsaw rights so far? My answer is I'm not familiar with the bidding war. So I don't know who the parties are. What I will say is that franchise sucks. So I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins the rights. Whoever wins, if they're going to make another one, just make it good. That's my thoughts on it, Tony. I don't even know who it's between. I know Alex.
Rights for
I mean, Alex
sale. Let's
hates
see.
that franchise as
Oh,
well.
I hate it. It could go to whoever the hell they wanted. It's currently up for sale. It says who is interested is in a bidding war. Possible links are Glenn Powell wants to buy it,
Oh yeah.
A24, Lionsgate, Andy Muschietti, whatever
Oh,
the
Andy
hell.
Muschietti.
Yeah, he
That's
wants to buy
the
it.
Flash guy. Yeah.
Jordan Peele's production wants to buy it. Taylor Sheridan wants to buy it from Yellowstone.
That would be sick.
Oz
He's like sick as
Perkins
well.
and Brian Bertino wants to buy it. Netflix wants to buy it. A24 and Lionsgate, like I said.
Oh my gosh.
What is the
Everybody
status?
wants this thing?
Yeah, the availability of the Texas Chainsaw rights highlights the ongoing demand and established properties in Hollywood.
All right. Out of all the
Oh.
names you just said,
I see.
I want to eliminate Lionsgate because they made that Leatherface movie, the prequel
Oh, that was a
one,
piece of shit.
and it was horrible.
That was a piece
So
of
let's
crap.
get Lionsgate out of here. Glenn Powell seems like a
A24?
good guy, but no, A20 it does not fit.
No.
A24 they make good horror, and it's a horrible fit. There was a
Jordan
name
Peele?
no, because he is horror, but not that style. I think Taylor Sheridan, oddly enough, is an interesting choice because he makes movies that like are all Texas and kind of Western anyway. He's not done horror, but he's a good writer. I kind of like that. And then what was another? You said another one that was pretty good.
Andy Manachucci?
No, Andy Muschietti. I mean,
Oh,
it was cool, but I don't know.
Oz Perkins and Brian
Perkins,
Bernardino?
I like. I think they could. I think they could do something with it. I do.
Okay.
I think they could do something with it. So maybe them. Tony says, "Hey, it's a popular franchise. Gotta love Texas Chainsaw." No, you don't. And you know what? It's not that popular. Those
No,
movies
it's not.
don't. The last one went straight to video, and the one no, the last one was straight to Netflix, and
That
the
was
one
a
before that was straight
trash.
to video. So
Yeah.
it's not that popular.
When a girl hits him with a Hadouken chainsaw uppercut to go into the water, that is bad. That was horrible. Like,
Tony, you
I
brought us
mean,
down.
look, I will say this: if it does get sold the rights, and it goes to a really good person, like a good property, whoever, I'll give it a chance. But just like the Saw is being sold. I think I forgot who. Oh, Blumhouse brought the Saw franchise. They
I like
just
that.
and I said the same thing. I
They're
said, okay, so
low-budget
they
movies anyway, so that
yeah,
works.
me and Ben was talking about it. I was like, you know what? You have a younger actor to play Jiggy, and have the voice of Toby Bell to be the voice modulator. Bam, that's it. Now you can have tons of movies because now you're still gonna hear when I play a game, and I'm like, all right, let's do this.
I mean, Jason Blum is hit or miss, but he is good for that because they're low budget anyway.
Yes.
He's a low budget guy. He'll get some talented people. I'm okay with him. He seems like the right person for that. And I heard James Wan is going to be involved or something like.
Well,
he's
he's
a
right.
producer or
Isn't he the creator with the other guy, Lies Wesman?
Lee
What is it?
Winnell.
Lee Winnell. Yes, they're the creators.
Yeah, so I think Wan is involved somehow, which also because he's worked with Jason Blum on a lot of stuff.
So anyway, with
Oh,
that
he's gonna
said,
be good. That's it.
there you guys have it. Well, look, this is what I will say. Thank you so much to everyone that's joining here and catching on the replay. Again, I'm going to put everything on the time codes below, so you guys want to check out which movie reviews you guys want to check out here and there. And then other than that, that's pretty much it for this week. Like I said, I'll be doing an unboxing of the 007 Steelbook, limited edition Steelbook set. I'll be doing Dr. No 1962 movie review, 4K review, this week with Swordfish. So you're getting 2 4K reviews. Hopefully I can pull that out, but it is now will be Dr. No, and then I'll see how much work I got to do. But other than that, those 2 is coming out. I think that's pretty much it. I'll be Wednesday live over at Mega Mike's movie channel. It'll be 007 versus Mission Impossible. So you might see some stuff
Cool
out
stuff.
of my collection will be coming to light in this battle.
If you're watching now, go there
yeah.
Wednesday. Me and Alex will both be on that show. So go support us over there. We would appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'll be definitely gonna be whipping out some 007 stuff that I have, which I haven't shown to nobody. So that might hopefully put us over the edge and win Mission Impossible. So yeah, with that said, that's pretty much it. Nate, anything you got to say before we go?
No, very thankful for everybody who showed up and participated in the chat. Tony, Harrison, James, Evan, JB, Collector Movie Man, and Scott. Thanks for popping in as always. This was a fun show. This felt like a podcast to me, and I love a good.
Yeah, it felt like a podcast.
So
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, it was fun. Next time we'll be back was when?
We will be back. We should be back. What comes out this Sunday? Or this weekend? Not this Sunday. I think the following. Wait. The next franchise rankings at the end of the month. So
Which that's right. Duh. I forgot to
that's at the end of this month for Back to the Future.
I forgot to show it. Yes, Back to the Future franchise ranking we'll be doing this month.
Yes, that is going to be on the 29th of June. But I think yes, that is when we'll be back because we're gonna do movie review. I mean, we may do a surprise one. Who knows? There's no movies I think we're gonna review between now and then. But if something happens in the next 2 weeks, we'll be back. And then I think after that though, we'll be back like a couple weeks in a row because it's like Superman, Jurassic World, other one. So we'll be like on a 4 weeks, streak.
Yep, I totally agree with that. So again, franchise ranking for this will be on the 29th of this month. So watch your Back to the Futures. Join us on the 29th for this. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining us live. Again, everything will be in time stamped in the description tomorrow maybe because I got to go scrub through this whole footage and find numbers. But other than that, thank you so much. I'm Ash Figueroa. That is Nate. Be awesome to each other and geek out.